Welcome to the Adjunct CEO Podcast with your host, the Adjunct CEO, Dean Akers. Tips, ideas, and interviews with top leaders to help you and your business when results matter.
Well, welcome to our 25th show. I'm really proud to have done 25 or 24 shows, and this being our 25th show. Big shout out to my number 4 son who just turned 25. So it seems like to be a magical number this weekend. Also, a big shout out to my number 2 son who just celebrated 4 years of his business that he opened as an entrepreneur and has grown, employs people, and has shipped to like 74 countries, used Mini Cooper and BMW parks. I'm so proud of him. He's got 15,000 or so square foot warehouse, a great team, kind of following all the principles we share. And I just love that he's being successful. So Dustin, big shout out to you, bud, for 4 years. And I can't wait for you to have 100 more years and continue to the super growth of your business. This past week, I've been meeting with customers. Been a great week. Been meeting with customers, potential customers, just people in general. And so it creates a platform for this week's show. And people still talk about competition and strategies to beat them and all this. And so when I hear the reasons why and what's going on and all this self-talk of the challenges, pricing, we can't do this, we've got to do this, we need more, our software isn't as good as, or whatever, or our equipment doesn't work like this, or we can't sell this, and all the various self-talk I hear, I'm reminded of some 25, 30 years ago, I was working with a CPA firm, and they asked me to come in, and we were helping them, and they were talking about their employees, and how do we get business? It's so competitive out there, blah, 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 blah. So I shared with them that I could solve all their problems for $5. Now, they were paying me thousands, but I said, give me a $5 bill. They gave me a $5 bill. I had all the partners write their signatures on them, and I said, I'll see you next week when I come back. The following week, I came back, and I walked in with a frame, and they go, what's that? What was their $5 bill framed? And in the frame, there was a mirror. And so my point to them was everything they were sharing with me and their organization was sharing with me was fraught in self-talk. And that if we focused on what they could do, how they could grow their business with facts, numbers, like I told somebody yesterday at lunch, it's just math, that they would grow their business, which they ended up growing to a very successful accounting firm and subsequently sold out to a much larger accounting firm. But how we did it, and out of that, I created something for friends of mine and now for you, and it's absolutely free. I created my $5 solution, just like I did for them. And they go, people say, well, what is this? And I hand this out to people all the time. I give them the $5 solution. It's kind of funny because they go, oh, thank you. And they go and they kind of play with it and they open it up and bingo, there's the $5 solution. The $5 solution is a mirror. So what it is it's just a reminder of for us with our self-talk. So anybody has an interest in having one of these mailed to them, I'll be happy to send it to you. It's send your name and address to help@adjunctceo.com, help@adjunctceo.com, and I'll make sure that you get one of these in the mail. So now we're working with some salespeople, and it goes back to the mirror and self-talk and all that. And we started talking about presentations. I got email to go attend a sales training class for entrepreneurs. It was free to the public and had people attend. I'm not going to call it out, but I went. And I get in the room, and they start teaching these people to tell their story. And they have us all write our story down. Tell us your elevator spill so everybody knows what you do, your features, benefits, and everything. And I was almost appalled. And anybody that's ever worked with me knows that I'm a freak about asking questions. If you want to be successful in sales, learn to ask questions. Open-ended questions, engaging questions, relationship questions, finding the source of the customer's pain. What you do is irrelevant until you know what they need, and then you can provide an alternative and something to help them out. So we were sitting there talking, and I'm listening. The guy comes around to me and goes, what's your thing? And I went, can't go there. And he goes, well, why do you mean? Do you understand sales? And I didn't want to say a lot. I just go, well, I just don't go there. And then I finally couldn't connect. Anybody knows me, I couldn't contain myself. And I said, look, I've been having sales organizations for years, and I've been teaching, asking questions. And I said, the thing that I watch people fail on is puking on their customers. And I had my briefcase, and I pulled this out. And I said, here's what I give my teams. It's the customer's presentation close protector. And it's a reminder, so when the sales people start puking, they can give this to the customer. So the customer doesn't have their puke all over them. This customer presentation close protector. Well, he started laughing, everybody did. And I said, listen, I've been selling a long time. And I said, another tool I have used is this. And I go, it's a recorder pen. When you're in a funk and you think it's the competition, or you think they're not qualified, or they're not this, that, or whatever, make sure to listen to yourself. So I had my own teams, because we didn't beat them up. Presidents and vice presidents of sales and marketing, do not beat your salespeople up. You want to encourage them to open up and help them grow. So I got these recorder pens. They would stick them in their pocket and record their presentations, quote, their selling techniques that day. They would simply take it apart, stick it in the USB, ship it in, and we would transpose it. 100% of the time, we would see the train wreck before it ever got to the crash site. We could see the train crashing before it ever got to the crash site, and it never crashed for why the person thought. We could see by listening back and transposing it that we were absolutely puking on the customers. We weren't engaging the customers, and now the customers were doing all the things, well, that's more expensive than I thought. I need to talk to my husband. I got to talk to my boss. We don't have it in the budget. All the things that everybody comes back and goes, oh, well, they didn't have the money, or they weren't qualified. No, yes, they were. They came in because they think they know what you did. If you're calling on them, you know they're the kind of customer that can use your service. So just make sure you're asking open-ended questions and you're not puking on your customers. And if you are, give me a call or send me help@adjunctceo.com, and I'm going to send you this customer presentation close protector for absolute free. I'm going to send it to you for absolute free. So lastly, it's probably a longer show, but I want you to really hear this, because this came out. Somebody came in my office this week, and they went to my conference room, and they're looking in my conference room. They go, what is that on your table? I go, what do you mean? That brown box. And they go, you mean this brown box? And they go, yeah. Well, this brown box that was on our table, this is what we've been using for 25 years to help get rid of self-talk and all the nonsense that goes on in our companies. And they go, well, what is it? I said, it's an excuse box. It's an excuse box. And they go, well, what is an excuse box? I said, our team writes their 5 favorite excuses, and we got all these things on blank cards. We've been doing this for years. Then they simply, when they have an excuse, anybody can call it. They can call it on me. The excuse, someone stole it. Someone stole it was an excuse. So if they start saying an excuse for why they didn't make a return phone call, they didn't get a report in, or whatever, we go, look, the excuse you're about to give is as good as the one that's in here. So just go ahead and draw one out. What does this one say? My mom had to go to the dentist. My mom had to go to the dentist. By the way, that's just as good as the one you were going to do. So if you've got, you need to get an excuse box, or get your teams to understand that nobody gets paid for excuses. The excuse box has been helping me forever. So today, We got you a mirror. We got you a mirror with that help for that self-talk. I got you a customer presentation close protector. These are tools to help remind you that your destination, your success, your future, all the things that you think that are happening that are against you or that are not right for you, 99% of the time they are controllable by you. So if you're in sales, you want one of these, send out. If you've got any questions, send it help@adjunctceo.com. I'll send these out to you, help@adjunctceo.com. And you know what? To me, it's a pleasure trying to help people. And I just love when I get emails where people go, Dean, you made a difference for me. You really helped us this week get focused. You really are helping my teams grow. And by the way, I would take this video and podcast, share with your sales team. Let them know. Or if you don't agree with me, reach out and tell me what you don't agree with. I'm open to debating this because I've helped sales teams grow companies to hundreds of millions of dollars and salespeople making mega six figures and seven figures with this process. So till we talk again, have a great week.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. If you have any questions or need some help, just email help@adjunctceo.com. Thanks for tuning in.